Contact. Once a journalist was interviewing his old retired teacher and asking various things about his old school days. During this interview, the young journalist asked his teacher, "Sir, once during your lecture you explained the difference between these two words while discussing the words contact and connection. Can't remember. Please explain the meaning of these two words to me today so that I and the viewers of my channel can be aware." The teacher smiled and asked the journalist while shying away from answering this question, "Do you belong to the same city?" The student replied, "Yes sir, I am from the same city." The teacher asked, "Who lives in your house?" The student thought that the teacher did not want to answer my question, so he was moving around. However, he told that my mother has passed away. Dad lives at home. There are 3 brothers and 1 sister and all are married. The teacher smiled and asked the young journalist, "Do you keep talking to your father?" Now the journalist got angry and said, "Yes, I keep chatting with my father." The teacher asked, "Remember the last time you met your father?" Now the young man sipped his anger and said, "Perhaps it has been a month since I met Abu." The teacher said that you must be meeting your siblings often. Tell me, when was the last time you all got together and asked about gossip? Now the journalist's forehead started to sweat and he had to give in. He started thinking that I had gone to interview the teacher, but on the contrary, the teacher started interviewing me. He sighed and took a long breath and said that it had been 2 years since we had been together as siblings. The teacher asked another question, that how many days were you living together? The young man wiped the sweat from his forehead and replied, "We were living together for 3 days." The teacher asked, "How much time do you spend sitting next to your father?" Now the journalist got very worried and started writing something on a paper on the table below. The teacher asked, "Have you ever had breakfast, lunch or dinner with your father? Have you ever asked your father how he is doing? Have you ever asked your father how his days are going after your mother's death?" Now, the eyes of the interviewing journalist began to shed tears. The teacher held the journalist's hand and said that there is no need to be worried, embarrassed, disappointed or sad. "I am sorry that I hurt you in ignorance. But what would I do because I had to answer your question about contact and connection? Now listen carefully, the difference between these two words is that your contact is with your father, but the connection is no longer with your father, or it is weak. Because the connection is between the hearts. When there is a connection or relationship, you spend time with each other, share each other's sorrows and pains. They shake hands and hug and do each other's work happily. As an innocent child's mother holds him to her bosom, kisses him, feeds him without asking, her warmth cares for the cold. When he begins to walk, she stays by his side like a shadow, so that he does not fall. No wrong. Don't eat anything. If he falls, he hugs the child and shuts him up. So, my dear student, there is only contact with your father and siblings, but there is no connection between you. The young journalist wiped his tears with a handkerchief and thanked the teacher and said, "Sir, you have taught me a great lesson today which I will not forget throughout my life." This is the situation of our society today, that we have great communication but no connection at all. Today we have 5,000 friends on Facebook but not a single one in real life. Today we send flowers without fragrance to dozens of friends early in the morning saying good morning. There are thousands of happy birthday messages and pictures of beautiful cakes, but in real life there is not a single friend who comes home and hugs and says happy birthday my friend. Today we are all busy with our work and are entertained by pictures of smelly paper flowers and big cakes.